and thanks for taking out 10 minutes to watch this quick video on how to get your trunk organized for a Google Drive. Catch the pun there. My name is Tricia Lewis, and I'm Technology Integration for the Richland School District in Richland Center, Wisconsin, and I'm going to share some quick tips with you on how to keep your Google Drive organized. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is one thing that keeps me organized is when I'm in Drive, I always make a folder first and then the file second. I know a lot of people just go to like docs.google.com or slides.google.com to start a new document. But to me, that gets so messy because you don't know where everything is at. So if I were to go into my Google Drive and I wanted to make a new document, before I'd ever make the document, I'm going to go ahead and make a folder. So of course I would go into New and Folder, and then go ahead and make that folder. Now I'm just going to put an exclamation point here in front of my folder. I'll talk about that later. So I've created that folder, all right? And the reason why I put the exclamation point there will come up in a moment. So to me, it is always important to make the folder first, and then you can put the document right inside of the folder once it's open and be able to do what you need to do. And then it's always organized. So you don't have to go back later and try to get everything back into that one folder. So to me, the first clue of keeping your trunk organized for a great Google Drive is folder first, file second. Now, I talked about this naming convention here, all right? That is one of the things that kind of helps me organize my Google Drive. If you go into my Google Drive, and I'm just going to go into my start here just to have it be a shorter area here, is that you can see that I have a whole bunch of exclamation points. Now, if I did not have these exclamation points in the name of the title, of course, they'd be alphabetical. But to me, having something chronological at the top of my drive makes way more sense, so that the folders that I'm doing for things that are coming up, like my fall classes at UW-Richland, or my ISTE presentation, or this presentation for SLATE, is at the top of my drive. So alphabetically, an exclamation point comes first. So if you use a series of them, you can actually put things in chronological order. And they be at the top of your drive instead of having your drive and then having a ton of folders to have to search through. And I won't even scroll because of how many I have. So you want to come up with a naming convention that helps with you. I like to use those extra symbols to keep things at the top. Another thing that you can do is you can add emojis in your folder titles. I find that the emoji at the end of the folder title works better than work at the beginning of the folder title. When you're going to search for folders, sometimes it takes a long time if that emoji is first. So you can just add the emoji in to help how to get that naming convention there. And it's a quick visual, not only for you, but maybe for your students as well, that you can put that emoji in there. So any naming convention that you come up with, just kind of stick to it, and then you will always keep your trunk really organized. Another thing that I like to talk about with people is using priority workspaces. Now, priority and workspaces is only available in your institution Google Drive account. So notice in my regular drive here, I don't have it. But if I flip over to my institution drive, I have something at the top called priority. Priority are things that you work on recently and are going to show up. It also uses a little bit of AI machine learning that it gets to know what type of documents you open up at certain times of the day, and then these links will change to your habits up there. Kind of a little bit of some Google voodoo going on, but it can help you be able to get to some documents really quickly because you're there in your priority area. Another part of this is awesome, is called workspaces. Workspaces is kind of a way to be able to put documents from a bunch of different places together in one place. So what you do is you create a workspace and add up to 25 documents in that workspace. And they can include documents that are shared with you. So I have all these documents together, and notice I've using my naming convention again because I want those workspaces to be on the top. You can have active workspaces that have different documents in there, and you can also hide some if you don't need to have them all open if you want. The awesome thing about Priority and Workspaces is I'm using Drive here on my desktop computer, but if you open up the Google Drive app on your mobile device, you also can access Priority and Workspaces there as well. So it makes a great way to be able to organize content from a lot of different areas and from different authors into one space. Finally, one of the things that I work on in my Drive to keep myself organized is using the star sequence. So when you're talking about starring items, you kind of have to think about making a threshold for yourself of how many items are actually going to be starred. Because if you star everything, starring doesn't mean a whole lot. So what is your threshold? Is it going to be 10? Is it going to be 20? Is it going to be 25? Is it going to be 50? Is it going to be 75? Those numbers, when they get up to be that high, I don't know if that makes a lot of sense with starring. I like to have some things starred because those are the things that I use quickly. In fact, when I go to my Google Drive bookmark, I have it bookmarked right to my starred items. So then I know exactly what I have to work on and be able to get to those documents quick. To star something, simple and easy to do. You just take the folder that you want to star, and you can right-click on it and add to starred. To get rid of the star, same process. Right-click, remove from starred. And then to get to those starred documents, you can see them right there. So in essence, I kind of created my own workspace in my private Google, because if I was in my institution Google, I'd probably create a workspace, and starred works the same way for me there. When you're doing starred documents, you can see those not only on the desktop version, but if you are in the app version of Google Drive, you can go to starred as well. And especially if you're on a smaller screen, you want to be able to get to the folders and to your information quickly. That's where starred can really can help you out in your game. So that's it. This was a quick overview of how you can get your trunk organized for a Google Drive. Again, my name is Tricia Lewis, and I work for the Richland School District. You can contact me if you have questions about this. I'm available on Twitter at TALOUIS, or you can check me out at my website at www.tricialewis.com. That's www.tricialewis.com. Thanks for joining me.